Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to a Sunday People's Choice playthrough of The Outer Worlds. A few things are different from last time. We're not going to have the chat on the side because I just prefer to be able to read what's on the screen. It's a bit tiny trying to share game space with chat space. So there will be voice messages instead. We're only just barely on time, so we're not going to hang about. We're going to just dive back into it. And last time we managed to trick a ship's AI into thinking we were the captain by claiming we had the same name as the captain. We discovered a rather cultish looking corporate town and their deserter population at the same time. And both of them have a component for our new ship, which we need, but they're not willing to give up without dooming the other group of people. So that's going to be an interesting choice for us to have to make. Oh, and I'm going to have to put my gun away so I'm not having to wave it in people's faces, because that felt a wee bit weird. You'll have to excuse me a minute whilst I get my bearings. As usual, my sense of direction is terrible. Okay, we're on the right track now, I hope. That's the wrong button. That's what I was trying to do. And yes, my memory on the controls for this game is slightly foggy, so it's been a week. Excuse me if I take a few minutes to get used to things again.
I always wanted to poke around in here.
Oh, the hefty crouch again. Bear with me. Okie doke. Circle.
Got it. Heads down.
Unexpected.
So I'll need to keep in mind to apply that weapon mod to my sword later on. This bad boy. Not as it's necessarily going to help all that much, we decided to go with a mad scientist weakling as our character last time, so I think any help we can get in hand-to-hand combat is going to be fairly crucial.
Here we go!
So much for the stealthy approach.
You got him! Adjacent automatic. Not getting through!
And after all of that, spoils of war. Nothing interesting in those drawers, nothing readable there. This computer seems dead as well. This one ain't, though. I don't have the resources to hack it, though. Now, I did realise after last time that the game was on a USB drive. I hoped that moving it to the system drive would speed up loading times, but it doesn't seem to have made a huge amount of difference.
The control room should be off to the right.
That moon mascot is sorta creepy.
Yeah, it kind of is. Okay. Don't think I actually need anything from here just now, but useful to know how they work.
Can we have McDonald's?
I can't think about McDonald's. I had to wolf down my dinner just before streaming. Barely made it on schedule. Well, that frees up our inventory a little bit.
Processing data in.
Yeah, just because my character's a scientific genius doesn't mean he's any sort of a good shot. Let's have a look. That efficiency is pretty terrible. Structural damage detected. Please notify your designated supervisor. I think I'm going to look into that before I go dooming anyone.
System searching.
Come on, good drone. Get out of the way. Thank you. I apologise if this ends up being fruitless running back and forth, but I want to at least try and save both populations, especially if there could potentially be enough power to go around. Don't tell me my ally's got herself killed. Looks like it. Well, great. For Pete's sake.
Security enforcement mode.
I just wanted to sneak on by. We're back here. Okay. I'm gonna go quickly read what's on the computer again in case it's a prerequisite for talking to anyone else about it.
The time for sneaking passed when you shot your way in.
Details, details.
The control room should be off to the right.
Let's get the tutorializing done again. Sell the junk.
I hope we're doing the right thing.
No more Mr. Pacifist. What the hell's happening to you? Aha.
You're past that armor!
Maybe just die. Thank you. And you're back on your feet. So yeah, things definitely need repaired here. Just making sure I can't interact with anything to do repairs myself, but it doesn't look like it.
Sure.
This way, wasn't it?
Systems.
Here they come!
Damage sustained.
Mildly surprised the sword works against metal, but I'll take it.
That's the last of them!
Now, let's see if we can't make our way back to the... I can't remember her name, the person who runs this group of abandoners. Why I didn't fast travel in the first place? Because I didn't know I'd unlocked it.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
Let's check. Yeah, that's just the pointer for the power plant again.
Fancy. You mean Zoe? Yeah, we were pretty close. Not like her to go loping off. Zoe and I were gonna watch the serials, as is our custom. She never turned up. I looked around, but she was nowhere to be found. You sound like some type of corporate fixer asking all these questions. Zoe was always obsessed with this serial. Masked Marketeer. A scion of Byzantium turns to banditry and teaches his marauder companions the wisdom of free market economics. Shame she up and vanished when she did. I had a surprise lined up for her. The other day I got my hands on a genuine copy of the latest Masked Marketeer. I was gonna surprise Zoe with it, but she was gone the next day. Can't say I recall Zoe ever acting strange. Well, except for her habit of writing things down on scraps of paper. She called it journaling, but I think it's just plain odd. Hey, I got time. I'll help if I can.
I think, yeah, we've followed every line of inquiry we can there.
Hey, stop!
Accidental discharge. Weren't me, mate. Yeah, where is this person I was talking to last time? Not in here. Here we are.
Oh gosh. Anything else I can do for
Redo
you?
your gun safety course.
Sounds like I need to, yeah.
I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I might have seen you for what you are. Remains to be seen. Might be the man that saves the Vale. Might be Reed's personal gun hand. People around here lack the strength to effect change. Or they have the strength, but not the will. You seem to have both. I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power away, you will have brought an end to our way of life. If you think Reed does anything in good faith, then you are asking to be lied to.
Well, I guess I can't get any help from her to repair the plant. Yeah, we're not going to go stealing stuff. Not if we can help it. May have accidentally stolen something last session, but...
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
If you're hungry, Stefan's got supplies.
What do you have
Where
to
are we
say?
headed? You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vickers says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. The Vicar's about the only soul in the Vale who spends his time thinking on what is and ain't right. It's just that when he looks at me, I feel I'd disappoint him.
Okay, let's see how mods work. Okay. I've picked up a lot more weapons than I thought I had. Condition 93.6. Yeah, I think we'll put that mod on a saber that's not got any wear on it. And swap it in to my weapon loadout. Slight problem being, I have no idea which one of these two I put it on. Let's have a look. Power attack damage plus 20, that's the one. Light assault rifle could be useful in that slot. Seems good to me. And I guess we're heading back to the power plant then. Since I've not found anyone who can help me with it. Excuse me, I'm an idiot. But we all knew that. That mean mascot really is kind of creepy. I'm gonna save just here before we do anything. Okay. So we can't redirect the power even if we want to at this stage.
That'll be easy enough.
Okay. Yeah, I share your concerns with the also mechanicals. Okay, sadly no access code in that lot, but some interesting information. Okay. My scruples about not stealing stuff really didn't last long, did they? Apparently I already had the passcode at some point. Fair enough. If anyone remembers how or when I got that, feel free to let me know.
Security patrol initiated. Halt.
These guys are made of tougher stuff than the sentries outside. Well, feck.
Processing.
Incoming!
Area. Halt.
This seems sketchy as hell. That was too close. Right, moving on.
You're not real. You're not real. You're not real. You're not real.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Reminder, please pay your gravesite fee. Halt.
Let's pick up everything we can before going on.
Not real. You're not real.
Trying to work out where that voice is coming from as well. Not on this level, I don't think.
Go away, Phantom. No, just leave me alone.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Manuals.
That's I'm out.
Where to go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the Veil?
So there's a computer here worth looking at. No more steam is always a bonus.
Process investigating.
Whoa. Huh? I see it. Okay. Not sure I want that, but may as well see what comes of it. Okay, I get to take any of my regular perks in exchange for that.
Scientist is scared of robots.
Whilst the hobbyists are, you know, really curious about what's going on with new tech, the scientists are just like, give me a gun. Maybe keep it under my pillow. The machine uprising is inevitable. I think we'll go with faster recharge of the essentially bullet time.
Blast.
Did I? No, I didn't loot you. Oh god, how do I get out of here? So we tried that way. Okay, we can go this way. Okie doke. Yep, I will take those very happily. And that.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Oh boy. Time to make a choice, I suppose. Just saving the game again. Really wish we could repair this thing, but I gotta say, I think they have a bigger chance of survival inside a city with decent walls, so I'm sending the power to Edgewater. Hope I don't come to regret that. let's have a look at these files then. Okay.
Okay, gone quiet.
Right. Any filming? Yes. And I think we're going to fast travel, if you don't mind. Face the music back at the lab. We're in emergency power mode.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it? You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management. You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell 'em how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding 'em up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
Okay, suddenly I'm kind of glad that I cut the power here.
If I were in a better mood, I might be inclined to try and change your mind. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. Whoa, Miss Parvati. You're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no, I'm just along with this fella here.
I seen you wandering around here. You don't look like you're coming from town. Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. I wish I knew. I wagered the town had the full set once upon a time. Where the third's gone, I can't say.
I think I saw a reference to someone borrowing it in the power plant. Need to check that at some point.
Would you? I'd be grateful. What's on your mind? Luck, mostly. Nothing's needed serious repairing yet. Nothing's broken down that we can't just replace with something scavenged from the outskirts. Well, not until the power went and cut out. Now everyone's giving me sidelong looks, expecting me to work some miracle and get the generator humming again. Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious. We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go, mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
I don't think she would somehow. Sorry to tell you this, pal, but...
I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again. I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. Suppose if I had one of those, I could go back to Reed and make a real case for myself.
Marauders can't see us in the dark. Wild canids, on the other hand. I'll tell you what I can.
Yeah, we've
What is
covered all
it?
those lines of inquiry last time.
The matter's been weighing on me. I'm staying put until I know what's become of Zoe. Don't want that question haunting me all the way back to the cannery.
Okie dokie then.
Any luck finding one of those manuals?
So, I think we have a decent amount to be getting on with next time. I think we're going to leave it there for today, though. Sorry we've not really explored too much, but we have at least come to a decision on which community has to be kicked out. And human bodies as fertilizer. Ugh. I'll save the game here, and we'll see about working on those quests next time and reuniting the two camps.